Okay. We are back. There we go. What's happening here? That's weird. All right. Douglas, welcome in. How are you today? First person in chat. Hit me with a suggestion. I'm gonna warm up some rugbies and then we'll give it a doodle. Hope your week has been going well. What on earth is happening here? Aggie has done something very strange. Well, Douglas, you were the first one here, so what was your suggestion? We can just do that one first. I've been trying to reward people for being the first ones in chat. There we go. Oh lordy, what have I done to rugby? Vampire undead warlock who is standing next to the vampire spouse. That's cool. I like that. Normally I don't draw two people, but I think we can make that work. We can make that work. Let me draw a real rugby. Not whatever chicken scratch this was. Jordan, welcome in. Jordan, if you didn't put it on Monday, then you're just pausing the stream, so now I have to go check. It's on the list for today. Thank you, Douglas, for checking for me. I appreciate that. I have to like tab out of Aggie and switch to a different monitor, and it's a process. That's a pretty, like, calm rugby today. I'm okay with that. Just laid back rugby. We need a laid back stream today. Not that our other streams have been not laid off. Just it's been a weird week for me. Nothing bad happened. Just stressful. I'm afraid the kid's getting sick, which means later this week is going to be worse. But he's sleeping today, so hopefully he'll be all right. All right. Okay, Jordan, yes, I do have it on the list. It is there, for sure. We're going to do the Undead Warlock, Dampier Warlock first. Because Douglas was the first one in chat today. Yeah, he seems okay right now. He's just really low energy today, so we'll see how it goes. Kids get sick. It happens. Whenever I draw Dampier, I want to make them very long, right? Like, I want the vampire aesthetic of just being too tall. Alexander, welcome in. The Dampier are like half vampires, right? Like vampire born, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to get like a base shape, but I'm not happy with it. Let's start over. Let's try again. My pen's a little too big today. There we go. I think blade would count, yeah. Apparently I've forgotten how to draw faces. That's not good. What was Blade's shebang? Like, would all Dampier have the... Blade can go in the sun, right? Like, that was his big thing. Are there other Daywalkers, or is it just Blade? They're pretty much vampires. Are they born a vampire, or can anybody become a Dampier by being bit? Sorry, I'm snacking. Smacking my lips. Not appropriate. Dampiers can walk in the sun. Okay. I think it's cool for Blade. But if I was playing a vampire character in D&D, I think I'd want the sunlight sensitivity, for sure. It'd just be more fun. That was D&D's MO for a long time, to just make like monster light characters. Like, oh, it's an orc, but it's got none of the downsides of being an orc. So it's just a human then. It's like, no, it's an orc. They're green. Just play an orc, yo. I would totally let somebody play a full-on vampire. Or a lich. That would be really fun. I shuffled it away. Okay. Is it possible? According to D&D, I think so. But I would argue that vampires can't have kids because they're dead. So there shouldn't be a human hybrid ever, which would defeat the whole Blade scenario, I believe. So I think his mom was a human. Where's Druid? I need some help here. Something's wrong with his face. Maybe the hairline's too high? I think I drew it kind of crooked. It is definitely a little crooked. What if we cheat a little bit? Just move the eye. Much better. Make it a little smaller. Yeah. Blade's mother was turned just as he was born. Okay. I knew there was something weird about that, about his birth. The reverse is possible. They just have all the weaknesses of a vampire, none of the benefits. I think that's just being a human, you know? They have to eat every day or they die. Oh, you have to drink blood? No. They just have to eat food. Literally anything. I think I see what's going on. I've tipped the head up, and I didn't lower the ears at all. Okay. They're a warlock. I feel like warlocks just need, like, coats. Like, one step up from a robe, you know? Like, I'm a cultist, but I'm not here on intentionally. So I want to wear something that covers me, but, I'm not wearing the pajamas. Yeah, Douglas. So we normally don't do two characters at once. But what we can do instead, this time, I'm only going to do the bust here. I might add some more, like the coat or something. Change the hair a little bit. Give it a little more of a look. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the silhouette of the big vampire mommy in the back here. And we'll give her like big old hair. No name, welcome in. Oh. Kid's awake. I'll be right back. Hang tight. Hang tight. Coco, welcome in. Everybody, I'm back. Sorry. The boy is sad. I don't think he feels good, so we'll hang out with him a little bit. We'll see what happens. That's too much collarbone. Cheekbone. Too much collarbone. Jeez. Stuff here. Give her bigger ears. Whoa! Aggie just exploded. There we go. Okay. And then we're not really going to draw her body per se. We're going to go like this. We're going to give her the Vampella? I can't remember her name. Vampirella. There we go. Cut here. With the big collarbones. And then everything else is just shadow. This poor kid. Yeah. I got you. I got you. Big unnecessary like neck cowl. And then we'll do something like this. Go underneath and we make this bigger. Is there a blender brush in this? That would be awesome if there was. Is it this? Oh my god. Awesome. Okay. We might start having some fun here. I forgot to give him fangs. Hey, you're okay. What's up? Here's a vampire and a werebat. It sounds like a joke. Two vampires and a werebear walk into a bar.
Hello.
Welcome in.
How's it going?
It goes. The
That's
boy's
good.
not feeling well today, so he's half asleep. But I'm
It's
hanging
better
on.
than being amped.
Yeah. He just woke up and he's like, food. I'm like, here's food. And he's like, fuck you. So now he's just sleeping on me. So I don't know what's going on there. But we'll figure it out. Okay. Kind of a weird one, because it's two people instead of one. But I think we're going to leave it there. All right. People are back. It is, what day is it? Wednesday?
Yes.
Is the viewer suggestion.
The last of the month.
Yep. Ooh, that means I was supposed to do one for the... Did I do a Patreon viewer suggestion earlier in the month, or did I do that last month?
Let me look, because I probably will see since
It'd be a members only. When did I do that last?
I think that was back in March.
It might have been. Unless I forgot to put... Public.
The only one that's like showing up for me right now is the one that was 4 months ago. And it's like that doesn't seem correct.
Oh, I'm looking at shorts. There we go. That's why. Patreon stream. That's unlisted? Why is it unlisted? Oh, because that was a... Huh. That's weird. Okay, sure. Something happened with it, but that was in October? That's the wrong one. There we go.
Was that the one that
December?
got demonetized?
No, now I'm on videos. What the hell's going on? YouTube, get your shit together. What did I just crunch? Why is there a piece of bread under my chair, kid? Yeah, there was one in March. Okay, so I missed one this month. So we will figure that out. I'll put that up for the Patreons tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Or just the first Wednesday of May.
Yep. Which we could do that. All right. So I did get stickers out this month, though, so that's good. So we'll do a viewer suggestion next month, and we'll try to get more stickers out. One of the suggestions this week is pinned by Rook Zero. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for screwing that up. It is Wednesday. It is the viewer suggestion. For those of you who are new, we're going to roll some dice and decide who gets to get drawn. If you posted your suggestion on Monday on the community post, I have it. If you have not suggested one yet this week, you're welcome to put one in the chat, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to roll some dice.
Just friendly reminder, only one.
Yeah, one per week.
Per week.
And we have an Elven Sniper male wearing tactical gear. The dice gods are weird. The dice gods are weird. Kid,
Sounds
you
like
cannot play up
a
here. You cannot play up here.
what is that?
It's Jordan's, I believe.
No, there's a game system that's like modern, like fantasy. Not Shadow Walker.
I don't know.
Something like that.
Ow, kid. Yeah. Stop. You are hurting me, and I don't like it. No, you cannot play with the dice. You can play with this. Well, this might be a problem.
Uh-oh. Shadowrunners, that's what it is. Sounds like a character who will be in that system.
Okay. You screaming baby. So I'm not streaming on Twitch today because every time I stream, I dual stream, I get demonetized because of Twitch's soundboard. So apparently we can't do that anymore.
Yay, more rain.
More rain.
And
I like the rain. I'm okay with the rain.
it just, if it rains too hard, it'll wash out the garden again. After we fixed it.
You not cover the garden?
It's too big to cover the garden.
Gotta go dig
This
some
isn't like a
trenches.
little backyard garden. This is like a field.
Well, then it's not a garden.
Well, it is a garden.
What's the difference
we
between a
grow
garden
multiple
and like
things.
a field of crop?
So I would argue a field of crop is singular,
One thing.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
while ours is multiple things.
I could buy that.
So we have like 4 short rows of potatoes. We're gonna have like probably 4 rows of corn, 2 longer rows of tomatoes, stuff like that. Like the big issue we have is we don't have any flat ground, and so everything is like on a slight incline.
That's
So it just washes all the like topsoil away.
Couldn't you just flatten that out? Is that not worth
Not
the effort?
not without a dozer.
That's something you can rent.
Yeah, but we don't got the money to rent it. Stuff like this requires money.
I have to go dig out one of my trees in the backyard. When we moved in, it was like this, and there was a little hill around it, as you know it do. And there was a big rock here and a big rock here, and in my shed. And now, it looks like this. Because so many pine needles have collected over the last like 3 or 4 years that it's just a big hill now. So I gotta go out there and dig all that shit up.
Another issue for digging it out would be it's right next to the road,
Okay.
and so it would just kind of like we would have to like it'll be like a big steep almost a little cliff next to the road, which will be very unideal.
Was there not a fence between them?
No.
Well, that's why it's getting washed out. You need a ditch. I have no idea how Kentucky farming works.
It just, we live on a ridge, basically. We live on a large, multi-tiered ridge. And so it's just, water is our biggest enemy. So.
Because it just, I see, it's just like slides out.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Now, if like we build big, massive like potato mounds, it would have been probably a little bit better, but we didn't because it takes way too much time to do that method of potato farming. It doesn't always produce good results.
We have not had any success with potatoes.
Probably too wet.
Probably.
They don't, like, moisture is fine early on, but like, you just need to at least get them to where they flower and keep the bugs off them. And that's it. They'll start. You're good.
All right.
Like, the tops can just flat out die, and you'll be fine.
Maybe I'll try
After
it again this year. Mudslide is not ice cream.
I know some people, they will, like, get, like, big, like, tubs.
Yeah,
like
that's what we tried
round-
last year. And I think it froze. It got really cold all of a sudden last year. It didn't work.
Since you're, like, farther north, you may have to, like, start a bit later.
That could be. Kid, what's going on? You need a crayon? Here you go. Have some crayons. There you go. Oh my. Goodness. Oh, I got them. Got them crayons. Okay. I think I made this elf a little too long. Nope, there we go. He just needs more shoulders. Need more shoulder.
I was gonna say, you could always do the Final Fantasy elves. Just
way too
all
tall.
neck.
What if we just stretch the neck out a bit? Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum.
So apparently, because of Barnes and Noble, it was revealed that there's a Pathfinder Dragon book coming out in December.
I heard about this.
I'm not sure if like it was a mistake or it was just they've been busy with getting stuff ready with other stuff and not put out an official release from Paizo.
Yeah, whose fault is it? Is it Barnes and Nobles or Paizo's? Because both of those are reasonable. Like, I can see both of them.
It's like next week is like PaizoCon, which is their like online con thing they do. Maybe Gen Con, I can't remember. And so they were probably meaning to release it like then.
Yeah,
like
I'm betting what happened is they scheduled it, and then it got bumped or something, and Barnes and Nobles never got the note.
Yep.
So they're just like, oh.
Yeah, the Lost Omens Draconic Codex, Lord. And Alien Core, which is the monster manual for Starfinder.
Nice. Jump Rope likes the dragon stuff, so I'll probably get that book. She's been talking about wanting to run the... Was it Tomb of the Dragon Queen? We'd set up to run
I've
that.
not heard good things about that one, weirdly enough. But what information we have, it's going to be somewhere between 200 and 24 pages, so decent sized book. And it's going to have more than 20 types of dragons, expanding on the existing ones and new ones. So I say that is probably them remastering the pre-existing dragons and maybe adding some new ones.
Yeah, because they have the... They just kind of revamped the whole worlds for it, so I mean, like, it wouldn't surprise me if they did something.
Because, like, red dragons are being morphed into cinder dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a thing. So that may be in the new, like, there's a Lost Omens book called Shining Kingdoms that comes out in June.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be in that one because it's, like, featured on the front cover. So they may have it in that one.
As long as...
But there's like the primal dragons, like the lava, or the magma dragon, crystal dragon. So they probably will get ported over. Same with the imperial dragons.
Yeah.
Which are like the Asian inspired dragons. Which they already have, like, if you look at the spell list for a lot of the dragons, they're already, like, kind of parsed out into the different magic traditions already. So it won't be too hard to, like, change them up to fit their new tradition-based dragons.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that much. It's like, it's going to be weird to... Because I still haven't learned the new dragon types or anything, as I just haven't been using, but I'm going to need to for the campaign I'm running now.
Yeah. Because there's like... There's a lot of dragons from 1E they've just not brought over yet.
Yeah.
So like all like the weird astral dragons.
Yep.
Or space dragons.
Which I like. I like them.
Yep. So maybe with Starfinder, they may also have them in there as well, so who knows?
Tom, is this for planting? Oh yeah, planting chart for Washington. Yeah, cool. I got really confused because I was trying to look at like updating our vapor barrier for the house, and I'm like, I thought we were like a 6 or 7 climate, and they're like, well, that's different. There's planting, and then there's temperature, and then there's there's just a few different kinds of zones that I got really confused with. So it's like I might have been planting plants for the wrong zone.
You may also want to go and look, like get in touch with the extension office. I assume Seattle has one.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and Jumper's actually has talked to them. So.
And look up your specific like street, because you may also be in a microclimate. Which also
that's a good point. I didn't think about that. We are the sound is weird, right? Like, so in Idaho, if you're looking at the valley, it's just flat desert shit, and then there is a mountain range in one direction and a mountain range in the other direction. So like this is east,
like a bowl.
This is south, and then north is flat. Yeah, where I lived in Boise, it's called the Treasure Valley. And so, like, everything, like, the river comes through here, and, like, the city is built around here. But, like, everything this direction and north and west are just flat. Like, there's just nothing. It's just
yeah.
Here in Seattle, like, I'm in the middle of, I'm pretty close to the sound. Like, I think I'm within, like, 2 miles of the sound itself. So, my elevation is weird.
You get that. Yep.
And...
You get that nice salty sea air.
On the when it gets windy and nice and warm, you can smell it. Which is nice. You all right, kid? What are you doing? What's going on? What's this sound? Oh. Poor kid.
Is he stuck?
He had gotten his hand underneath something and then put his other hand on top of that thing. And so he trapped himself. He monkey pawed himself. And he didn't understand how to get his hand free. Gotta pick up the other hand, kid.
Yep.
Release me. Apparently that's a 16-month thing. Self-awareness. Not there yet. We're just slightly above dog right now. Play with that keyboard? Here, what if I let you play with this, will you chill out? Yeah? Okay, great. I'm breaking the rules. What were we talking about? Oh, the sound, yeah.
Yep.
So, like, Mount Rainier, like, is huge. You can see that all over, which is great. And then it's just, like, valleys, trees, and then you look towards the sound, and it's just, like, it's weird. There's this weird dead spot where the Puget Sound is. And then it's like, but on the other side of that, more mountains.
And trees.
I know they exist.
You probably have a lot of small microclimates.
Yeah.
In Seattle. Because you also got to take into fact, you're also in the city, which also can affect weather. So.
Yeah, it's super weird. Like, if I go, I live in between Seattle and Tacoma, like somewhere in between there. And so it's really strange because, yeah, if you go towards Seattle, it turns into this city kind of brushy, scrubby place. But then if you go south towards Tacoma, like all of a sudden you're in the middle of the forest. It's super fast how quick it changes.
Yeah.
Which I love. I mean, it is really pretty. But yeah. Hey, do not push on that. You're allowed to play with this. You cannot push on that. You can play with this.
Like, I know
You can play with this.
there's some weird, like, microclimates. So, like, where I went to college at is always, like, a good 10 degrees warmer in wintertime than it is in other places. Like, so if I'm coming home from college in wintertime, it, like, will drop a good 10 degrees just going home once you get out of, like, the little quote-unquote city limits, town limits, really. And it's just like nestled in this little bowl of between mountains, and it's just really warm there.
I think I'm done with this bolt action elf.
Bolt action love. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I guns were something that I came into as I grew up. Like, my mom taught me how to shoot when I was little on my grandfather's farm. But then I didn't really get to do a lot of stuff with guns until I was old enough to just do it myself. So I never really got into bolt action rifles. I think I need one, but like I don't know what chamber to get it in, you know? I have a...
I was really kind of
confused where that was going.
I was really wondering where you were heading with this conversation. Like, I was like, where is he going with this one?
I have like an old Moss and Nagant. It's a really old bolt action that is fun to shoot, but like it's not really like functional or practical. it's just a fun gun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was gonna get a lever I have a lever action rifle. I like lever action. It's really fun, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what is good for bolt.
I just know bolt action is like the most common like hunting rifle for people around here.
Yeah, I mean I think that's true, and that's the thing. I never hunted as a kid, so I don't do that. All of my shooting is like sports shooting, like clay shooting and target shooting and stuff.
Like my dad, he bought a gun from. Do you know what court day is? I should first specify this.
No, I don't. What's court day? I'm assuming it's like when they sell off all the stuff.
So court day, well, technically it's court days. I guess it maybe is like a local festival. I wasn't sure. It's just like or at least used to be like this open air, like
flea market.
Yeah, basically, like, people will get together and, like, sell stuff.
Cool.
Like,
I want to go to that real bad. I love those things.
and, like, it used to be really big. Like, it was like when you would go take, like, your pigs to market to, like, sell them to someone else, or if you have, like, piglets that you have too many of and you can go sell them, or horses, stuff like that.
Kid, you got to chill out.
Next
Stop.
to that would be, like, people selling, like, sort of like farmer's market meets swap meets massive yard sale. Bunch of other stuff rolled up, and it always happened like in October. I never went. A lot of people I know went. My dad got a gun there, and it was basically like sealed up in grease.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And turns out it was like, I think it was like Soviet made from like Yugoslavia.
I was gonna say, so there's this weird thing that like a whole bunch of like old World War I and World War II rifles, to make sure they didn't rust because they were shipped in wooden crates, they would just goop them, and and it made them horrible and awful. And if you bought one, you have to clean it. You have to like take it apart and scrub it.
And so he has this like World War II era Yugoslavian carbine.
Nice.
'Cause I remember it. And he had to basically completely remodel it. So the only thing original is the barrel.
Yeah, I was gonna say sometimes
and like the metal parts.
Sometimes the wood just rots away.
Yeah, the wood was just saturated with essentially motor grease.
So that's the thing with the Gaunt. Like, they're really cheap when I bought it because there were just a ton of them, and they weren't like, basically I have a gun that's made out of like 3 or 4 other guns, like because just the way they had them, like they fall apart and people didn't take care of them. It's like, yeah, so there's just like a weird little kit where you just find all the pieces.
I think the coolest part I liked about it of like the old stock was it had a flat butt of the stock, so probably not super comfortable, and it had like, I don't know, a good inch and a half like steel plate.
Yeah, that's the thing with that. Like, it's not super fun to shoot for a long time, and the cartridge it uses is huge, and so it just punches you in the arm. This is a hamster with a battle axe. Kid, stop. If you want to sit here, you have to sit. Do you understand? You cannot stand up like this. You're gonna get hurt, and I don't want that. Stop. I'm not sure. I need to like buckle him down or something. I need to get him like a what's it called? Like a high chair? I guess I need to get him a high chair so I can just buckle him into the.
I assumed he had one.
We don't eat at a table, so we don't have one. But I have a little tiny one that looks like
from a restaurant.
No, I mean about that size though, and so it's got a little tray he can that clips into it, but it is just like a booster seat, not a high chair.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not sure if he would like being a high chair. He might actually just absolutely hate it, not being able to move around.
He likes, yeah, it's weird. He's a weird kid. He will we'll go for a walk in like his stroller. And then when we get home, I'll take him out of the stroller, and then he'll climb back into it and just, like, hang out in it. Well, it's got snacks on it. He's just like, yeah, got a place to sit.
I mean, then he may like it then. I don't know.
Yeah. Kid, knock it off. Stop. You are squirming too much. I don't know what hamsters look like. I may need.
They don't look like guinea pigs.
Did I draw a guinea pig? I feel like I drew a guinea pig.
It's a little guinea pig-like or gopher-like.
Maybe more cheek. I might need more cheek. Mouth. Mouth.
Yeah.
Is that a hamster or is that a?
Yeah, that's a hamster.
Okay.
They're definitely more mice-like than like.
My sister had one when I was very little, and it was an asshole.
There you go.
That helps. Cheap us, kid.
Here's one that's basically being still. But yeah, they're definitely like bigger, short-tailed mice.
That made a huge difference. Now, you can sit with me, but you have to not be doing what you're doing. Yeah, you think that's cute? You like the hamster?
Hopefully he doesn't want a hamster.
He can't have them. Can't have them. I'll explain later. Well, I'll explain to you later, but we can't have hamsters. Not allowed. What was I gonna say?
But yeah, you changing like the position of the nose and slight shape of the head changed it completely.
You cannot stand up, kid. I realize that you want to, but you are not allowed to stand up. Yesterday, he's doing this thing where he's discovered he can lie to me.
Oh no.
So sorry, hold on. So, like, whenever he wants to sit in my chair and he wants to draw and he wants to play with my keyboard and stuff, you cannot stand up. And so yesterday, what he did is he wanted to do that, and I was like, nope. And he's like, oh, I'm hungry. And he does the symbol, the hand sign for hungry. Kid!
Sweet Jesus.
Okay, he's starting to throw a tantrum because he can't stand up on the desk. So he would do the sign for being hungry, and then I would stand up to go get the bottle, and then he would climb up into my chair.
Oh, you sneaky little child.
Yeah, and then I'd come back and I'm like, I have a bottle. He's like, I don't want it. I just want to stand in the chair. So I started pushing my chair in, and he would get really mad that I wouldn't let him climb up on my chair. And so then he does that later. I stand up. I don't push my chair in. I walk into the next room over to grab the bottle. He runs out because I took him with me. I put him down to grab the bottle. He runs into the next room, climbs into my chair, immediately eats shit. I'm just like, that's why we don't do this. And that he hasn't done it since, but like, he still wants.
At least he's learning.
Yeah.
That's a good sign. He's learning.
Don't stand up in a spinny chair, kid.
Yep. You'll lose a tooth that way.
Yeah. He's got to learn all these lessons while his bones are still soft.
Yep.
Oh, wow, that was right into my ear.
What'd he do?
He coughed.
Oh,
He just coughed straight into my ear. Well, if I wasn't sick now, I am. I'm gonna
Mouth. Paper or plastic? Mouth.
Hey, do not kick the tablet. Yeah. Alright, this kid's starting to throw a fit. Let me go see if he will eat, and maybe I can have him distracted with a book or something. Leif, welcome in. I'm going to take a quick break. Sorry about that.
Yep.
We're drawing a hamster with a battle axe, but the child is unhappy. So I'm going to go see if I can pacify him, and we'll be right back. Yeah, he needed some food. I'm gonna try to set up a chair right next to me that he can stand in and see if that'll help him calm down. Want milk? Oh, I love milk. Sometimes when I grab the viewer suggestions, I don't read them.
Mm-hmm.
And so, Bride did say, he messaged me about this, that apparently today is the halfway between Halloween. So we're at Halloween right now.
Mm-hmm.
And people should suggest monsters, which maybe we'll do next week. I'll just put up a monster prompt. How's it going? It's going pretty good, Leaf. How are you doing today? The boy is... Okay, he's done. He's trying to steal my chair. Let me go put the milk away and I'll come back. Okay. There you go. You get to stand in the chair. You have a snack. Can I move this over? There you go. Hey. Is it scary? You don't like it? Oh no. Apparently the chair was not a good idea. Grayson, hello. Hold on a second. Look. You got snacks? Okay. We're fine. Oh. What was I saying? My brain is fried right now.
What were we talking about?
The boy done did distract me.
Yep. I know we were talking about hamsters.
Hamsters being assholes.
Yep. I think we were just talking about the kids.
Possibly. About how he's a lying, manipulative demon spawn.
Yep, dirtbag.
Yeah. Saw the stream, kind of confused on what's happening. So it is a viewer's suggestion. So if you would like to suggest a D&D character, you're very welcome to. I would put them on a list, and then we roll dice, and then the dice gods decide which ones we draw. So that's what we're doing right now. So right now I've drawn a vampire with a vampire mommy patron, an elf with a lever action rifle, and now I'm drawing a hamster with a battle axe. So it is what it is.
Yep.
This is where we are today. The kiddo is eating his snack.
as well as another thing is the suggestions last until Friday, where then next Monday they are refreshed with new suggestions.
Yeah. I want to give him like skull face paint. Costco sells these huge bags of like green pea puff snacks.
Uh-huh.
And they are amazing. And then I discovered they're like $9 a bag, and I was like, son of a bitch. When did that
Well, how
happen?
big is the bag?
It's pretty big. I would say you get maybe 2 or 3 more times than a normal bag of chips, but
Still, $9.
still $9. It's like, oh, dang. Your kid loves them, and they're supposedly healthier than goldfish, so we'll see.
But are they tastier than goldfish?
Oh, they're
That's
delicious.
The
I mean, they're not cheese flavored, so it's hard to compare them, but. Yeah.
So I kept looking around about the apparition stuff that you were talking about last night.
Yeah.
And it seems that it is intentionally less vague so you and your GM can, like, talk it out.
Yeah.
They are decidedly not mental constructs. They are things.
Okay.
But they're also not targetable by spells unless the spell specifically says apparitions in it.
Yeah, so I think, and this is from a mechanical standpoint, the reason for that is, 1, they don't cause flanking, right? Because they're not actual creatures.
Yep.
And 2, a goblin can't just punt it away and make your spells useless, right?
Exactly. Or dispel your spirit away.
Yeah.
Apparition.
So I think between you and I, what I said last night, I think is the way we should do it. It's just like, you need to figure that out if you want people to see them or not.
Yeah.
And you should be role playing them. Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing. So like when you said, if you don't mind me sharing it, you said like you felt like your character
I don't mind.
Is trying to do too many things and isn't doing anything. I think that happens with every class, right? It's like I'm a fighter, but I'm also a tank, and I'm also kind of a damage dealer, but like I don't really know. It's like, yeah, your kid has all of that. How you play needs to define what you're doing.
Yeah. And like, I think the only
See you later, Leif.
sticking point for that is way that the animus works is a lot of the feats don't push you in any of those directions. It's just, what spirits are you taking today?
Exactly. And I was trying to explain this to I think Lars is going to play one as well. And Grayson, I like talking to the viewers. It's fun. Every now and again we'll have a lot of people in chat, but usually we only have about 6 or 7, so it works out pretty well.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain to Lars, like, I really do feel like...
I'm Corvus.
Yeah, I'm talking Corvus. I'm Rook. Welcome in. I do feel like
Lars.
the Animus isn't really a caster, right? Like, they're not a caster, but they're also not a straight-up melee fighter. And they do that because... I think I just swallowed a bug. That crap. I think you are a utility caster. And what I mean by that is you get those spirits, and then that's how you kind of finagle your way through the universe. So I think you should be RPing your spirits more. Like, let them be part of your character. And with that, like, I would allow, hey, you got a spirit of the mountain, of the place we're in, talk to him. Like, ask him questions about what's going on. I think that would be a good way to kind of incite.
It never feels like the right time to, like, start doing that. That's always kind of just like...
Right.
Because I also don't want to, like, take up other people's time who are, like, also trying to RP in this stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, it's really hard for me to, like...
Our team doesn't RP
gauge when is the right time.
I think if you played... I know it sounds bad because hey, play 3 characters, right?
Yeah. I mean, I am basically playing 3 characters.
Right.
So.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's why it feels like it's maybe not the right time sometimes, because you're doing it as a, hey, I'm going to sit down and talk to my stuff. Let your things be characters. Just like let them ask questions, or ask me like, hey, what does such and such think about this? Or if you want, I can take some of those characters and I can interject things with those characters. Yeah. That would be fine too.
I was going to ask, but I kind of forgot in the moment because of during the ritual stuff, a lot was just happening. It wasn't chaotic or anything, but it was just like, what do I need to do to finish this? And oh god, I hope I don't flub it like I did that one round. But yeah. I was like, I wanted to know, like, how are my spirits reacting? Are they like, were they troubled being in the circle? Were they like fine? Yeah, I wanted to know that, but it's just like,
yeah,
it didn't feel like the right time to ask.
Which I might said that you had sent them out to give everybody aid, right? Which I think was cool. I think that was great. I could have RP'd that a little more. So maybe we should start working on those when we work on those characters of just like, what's this spirit like? Like, I'm going to talk to them. And we'll try to give them actual personalities and stuff.
Yeah. Because, like, they do give, like, sort of baseline, like, ideas of what they would be like. Like, there's one of them, it's like a dungeon spirit.
Yeah.
And it's very, like...
That makes me think of like, Skelly from Hades.
It very much is like, I'm your only spirit that you should be caring about. It's very, like, me-oriented.
I died in this dungeon.
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna make it a real skull instead of a tattoo. What's up, kid? Is that good? Where'd your drink go? Hi. Oh, hello. You need more cuddles? Here. Oh, goodness. Take a nap now? Now that you got some food? Can you sit? Do you want a pen? Or do you need your water? Where'd your water go? Did you drop it? No, you dropped it. Yeah. Blup.
Yeah, so the one I was just talking about is called the Crafter in the Vault. And they're like found in dungeons or forges. And they talk about how they love partnering with animists who compliment them on their creations.
Yeah,
but they're highly jealous of anyone who intrudes on their expertise, including casting any of the spells that appear on their apparitions list. So, like, if another apparition like shares spells with it, it will get jealous.
That's funny.
Which is funny.
I like that. Yeah, we can definitely play with that. I think that'll help.
Yeah.
That's. I think it's kind of the same thing with the thaumaturge, right? Like, the thaumaturge is constantly asking about shit, but like, they should be finding esoteric crap around the room that other people just wouldn't see. Like, they should have access to like, oh yeah, there's a strange bauble on the floor. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, it's completely innocuous, but not to you.
Yeah, like, and I love like that aspect. I'm just not good at bringing it up or asking for it, basically.
Yeah, that's something I can work on. Because I think it's the same thing with Pathfinder's full of all that kind of stuff. Like, Fine Eye's chosen one thing, right? It's like, it really only works if the DM plays with it. If the DM takes control of that and is like, hey, you have a weird compulsion to go to the market right now. It's like, okay, I'm going to do that.
Because, yeah, I think when I was first started, like, wanting to play the Animus, I was kind of, like, envisioning someone less out of a horror thing, communing with ghosts and stuff, and more of, like, Princess Mononoke.
You wanted it more Princess Mononoke?
I personally did, yeah.
Okay.
I was like,
I don't want
Just
that.
seeing like the little kodamas everywhere. Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's the gem I wanted to jive with. But it's fine if that doesn't work for your story. I get that. It doesn't work for everyone's story.
We were in a place that was just full of spirits, so it was like
I should be rolling for nosebleeds.
Yeah, there was one of my friends wanted to play a druid, but he wanted to play a druid where he could just talk to every animal because he just played Baldur's Gate. And I was like, great, do that. And then he'd walk into a room like, okay, I want to talk to whatever animals are around. Like, there's like rats and pigeons and birds, I guess. Like, what do you want to do? And then he would talk to them, and I'm like, none of these things have information. They're just random birds. Because he didn't really have. He just expected them to like give him quests, and I'm like,
yep.
And so I started dropping hints of just like, hey, there's a big jerk over there being mean to everybody, and it's like trying to allude to that there were like were creatures around and stuff. So I tried to build it into his character, but it very much was like not what he expected to happen.
Yeah.
And then when I finally gave him a creature that was like, run, he's just like, what the fuck do I do? He just panicked. So
yeah, I mean,
it was fun. It was good, but it was very much like, I want him as a player was saying like, I want this kind of experience, and me as the DM was like, oh, I haven't planned for that, but I can probably figure it out. It took me a little while to get into it.
Like, I'm not expecting to like see the world just cluttered with spirits or anything like that, but it's just like, I don't know. I very much enjoy that prospect of like being able to interact with things that other people can't see. And that's part of the reason why I went with the seer.
Yeah, which is cool.
Thing.
And I think psychometric resonance is a really good feat, and it makes a lot of sense. It makes way more sense than my poppet having it, right? Like, but he's a detective, so I just blend that into it being a detective thing.
Yeah.
I'm a psychic detective.
So you're, Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho.
You know, I've never watched that, but sure. He's a spirit detective, right?
Yeah, it's a pretty good show, I'm not gonna lie. It's a little dated for references, but like, it's pretty good.
That was one of the first shows that had like a tournament arc, right?
Kinda, yeah. So the guy who wrote it, he's still alive, still kicking, just barely. Like, he broke his spine somehow, and like it's managed to recover enough to like start working on his other manga.
Interesting.
Which is Hunter.
Oh, okay.
So he really likes his main characters wearing green.
Sure. The hairstyle, I can see the hairstyle now. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Funny.
But
you know, it's just the same one.
That may have been one of the first tournament arcs, and it's a big tournament arc. It's not like a 2 or 3 episode thing. It's like a full-on season of like 12 or more episodes.
So like JoJo,
it's a good chunk.
JoJo came out when, like, early 90s?
So the manga came out in the 80s.
It was in the 80s? Okay.
Yeah. There was like a OVA anime thing in the 90s, but like it didn't do well, and so it for like almost 20 years didn't have anything until like 2012.
Interesting. Kid, you are just straight up standing on my joke. I'm not happy about this.
And like it definitely doesn't have a tournament arc.
Yeah.
There's no like stand tournament arc or anything like that, or because I think
because then you have like a lot of like the Saint Seiya stuff, like even up to like Ronin Warriors. Ronin Warriors is really cool, but like the whole series is just like the world is fucked. 4 people showed up and now they do stuff, and it's like, okay, that's cool, I guess. So like it has the same vibe, but it's not set up the same way that like Bleach is, or or I think even like Inuyasha I think did one, and Rurouni Kenshin did it too. Like, so who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, kid, why you do this?
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like anime that didn't have them. Like obviously like Full Metal Alchemist didn't have one, unless there was one in the older anime. I don't remember.
There was not really.
There was like him taking his test.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
And
the Alchemist.
That's just a test.
It was like 2 episodes at the most too. So
Yeah. And he's not competing against anyone else. He's just showing off his skill.
Yeah.
And then like I know Naruto had a big one.
It had the training,
The Chunin exams,
and
everything.
Yeah. That was a whole season, wasn't it? If not, it was a big chunk of a season.
That was a big chunk of a season, and then it repeats because it's a yearly event or every other year event. So like, it may not be like full dedicated season, but they talk about it a lot.
Yeah, because there was the season, there was the one where Naruto did it, right? And then some of the people failed. So then he went off and trained and then came back and then they did it again for the people that failed. And then I guess his kids. So they've done it a few times.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of cool.
And there's I think there's like a filler arc where like they do it in the Sand Village. So Gaara is hosting it.
Yeah, they hosted it, that's right.
But like literally like a high school sports tournament where it goes between different schools each year who host it.
Fairy tale, like the bosses.
Oh God.
The bosses were like, the only way to beat us is to beat us fairly in a duel. It's like, what? Why would we agree to that? Like you're murdering a town.
Yep.
Like, nope, have to beat us fairly. Like, okay, great. Like Dragon Ball Z is basically nothing but tournament arcs, right? Like,
yeah, same with Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
I would argue Yu-Gi-Oh even more so because like that's like the driving plot line for a lot of things. Like, there's a new tournament in town. Let's go join and see whose soul gets sucked away into the Shadow Realm.
How do you get back from the Shadow Realm?
I think there has to be like you have to beat the person who sent the other person into the Shadow Realm, and like it's part of like a weird pact that gets made.
But like
if I beat you, you bring them back.
It's just like a penalty box, but in purgatory.
I guess, yeah.
Because it seems like the main bad guy, who always challenges. I mean, I just only know the memes. So like, kid, okay, you need to not ever do that again.
I'm kind of glad they scrapped that after like the first like 2 or 3 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, yeah, no.
he just like screamed and passed the fuck out.
What happened?
He was upset because he wanted to stand up, and like, I mean, he was just kind of throwing himself around, which is why I yelled at him, told him to stop doing it, because he like almost launched himself out of my chair. Like, he's sitting in my lap and he just like tried to fling himself. So I put him on the floor and he just started screaming. And I picked him up and like hummed to try to calm him down, and he just passed out. So now I'm holding him and he's zonked completely out. He ran his batteries all the way to 0.
Good for you.
Yeah. Poor kid. Poor kid. It's super funny when kids just get like red in the face, angry, and just bonk. Just like, I'm so tired. I hate everything. Okay, I think I'm done with this. What do you want to call this? Hamster barbarian? Hambarian? It's not super detailed, but I like it. Let's do the next one. 6. I need help with this. The word is Ashigaru. Ashigara?
Ashigaru.
An
So
Ashigaru
right.
Battlemaster Goblin. What does that mean?
Yes. So a Ashigaru is a feudal Japanese soldier.
Oh.
They're not samurai, but they're the foot soldiers.
So the guys in they have a helmet and shoulder pads, and then are wearing like a Speedo.
Not really.
I always think of
I'll just straight up send you a wood block of one.
Yeah, go for it.
This is like how they're normally depicted.
Like there's always
these are particularly using arquebuses, but they normally would use spears, or in this case an arquebus if they were special enough to get one.
I keep thinking I had like the image of the spear pike peasants that basically have the hat and then maybe just the breastplate, and that's it, and then sandals. Like that's all they're wearing. They're just like.
You're thinking of like the Kurosawa movie stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the normal soldiers who were not of the samurai class. Yeah.
I guess maybe it wasn't even a breastplate. It might just be like a tunic.
No, I think from what I'm reading is they would be given like actual armor. So but they wouldn't have like the big fancy helmets. They would just simply have a like the hat they're wearing, the little conical hat.
Yeah. Are those armored at all? Are they made out of bamboo? Are those meant to be defensive or just to keep them dry?
I think a little bit just keeping them dry and keeping the sun out of their eyes. Okay. They're either made of iron, copper, wood, paper, bamboo, or leather.
Wow. An iron helmet would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, they would have like lighter versions of like samurai armor. It won't be as like ornate or anything like that. It would be very utilitarian. And they would either be given a spear, bow, a katana, or a matchlock. Most often spears, because that was the cheapest thing to supply.
I've been watching The Wheel of Time.
Has it got better?
No.
Sorry.
That's what I was gonna say. I really, really like the story. Like the concept behind the story is really good. And the show's writing is just not great, which is really sad.
Or is it maybe the writing of the book is not great and they're
It could be
struggling?
like that's what I'm, like the actual storytelling is bad, but the story is good, if that makes sense.
So like the premise of the story is great.
Yeah, the premise of the story is great. The world is really cool, and the way the story is told is just hot garbage. And God, what were we just talking about? I lost why I brought that up. Oh, there's a whole race of people in this in the universe that are like, we learn how they're back. I don't want to spoil it, but also maybe you don't care.
I ain't watching it.
Yeah, so Wheel of Time spoilers.
I know like there's people with really long fingernails and they gross me out.
Yeah, that was weird and creepy. But they're also like super slavers, which is just like it's a little too heavy-handed how evil they are. So
yep.
Once again, writing's bad. But
here's
so
the thing.
these people that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's like this warrior class of people, and they only use spears, and they're not allowed to use swords. And you eventually discover why, and it's because they used to be a bunch of called the Way of the Leaf, where like fighting is just completely forbidden, and if you ever fight or kill somebody, you get kicked out. And so what happened was one of these people went to go save their sister from a bunch of bandits and killed somebody with a spear and got kicked out. And he's like, we're going to protect these people. We're just going to follow them around. And they became a whole group of people based around like leaving this way of the like pacifist lifestyle. And they can only use spears because spears are not actually weapons. Like they're meant for hunting, but a sword is only meant for killing people. So it was like their concession to do that. But it became like they forgot about this. They forgot about this past, and so no one really knows why they're not allowed to use swords. And I dig that. I dig that concept. Like that's a really beautiful progression of like society. And lore, and like why people would use specific weapons instead of just like, oh, spears are cheap. It's like they can have more of a purpose to them too, right? Like people might know how to use a spear because they hunt with a spear, whereas a sword does require martial training. And so I love all of that. All of that makes sense and it's great. But the writing itself, every time I watch the episode, I'm just like, that was cool, but I'm kind of meh. So
yeah,
really cool things like that.
I hear people talk about Wheel of Time, like the books, and they talk about how great they are, and I'm just like, are people maybe just thinking they're great because they've like stuck through them? Because there's 12 books.
From what like Inferno, I used to talk to Inferno about it when it first came out. I think he's read them, but they're saying that essentially like the writer meanders way worse than George R. R. Martin does. And so there's a lot of characters and a lot of things going on, which I think is one of the worst parts about the show too, because they'll throw you into a thing. It's like, I just don't care about these people. Like this isn't an interesting part of the story, but we're gonna give them a whole episode. It's just like, that's sad. Like I don't care.
So it seems like the show is trying to do the books justice in that aspect, but it's just not going well because it meanders too much. Okay.
Because I feel like, especially most shows, like it's compartmentalized, right? Like even Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is the other bad one that does this. There's like 10 different things going on, and eventually they kind of all come back together. The problem is that like in this show, it starts here, and you have a whole group of people, and then season 2, now it's 2 groups, and now through season 3, it's like, what if each group got 5 more people? And now we have 5 different groups, and it's just like, it's too many. Just stop. Like it just keeps spreading out more and more and more and more. And it's like, I want to go back. I want to learn more about the Leaf people, please.
Yeah. The only thing there's 2 things I know of Wheel of Time. There's a song that this one guy sings, and I really like it, so I occasionally will re-listen to it. It's like Tom's Song or something like that. You can find it on YouTube. He's like playing in a bar, really kind of sad song. And then that there are people who have these swords, and I really like them. I think there's like a heron imagery to the sword.
The main character has a heron sword, yeah.
And just like, those are cool swords. I like them.
So once again, I dig that concept, right? Because the sword he has is supposed to be weave made, so like it's made out of magic. The sword was forged with magic, and it's like, holy shit, that's cool. It has all these different properties than any of the other swords. That's all the information they ever give you about it, and it doesn't really matter. It's like, oh, bummer.
Yeah, that.
Lauren, welcome in. Like, and I don't
also sorry if people who really like Wheel of Time, and I'm not intentionally being mean to it. It's just, I think there are people who.
It's maybe not as good as people give it credit for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like, I think books that take more than 5 books to get done is maybe not the best story.
I think the other thing about it is like when the first season came out. They kept doing this thing where they're like, who's the dragon? Who's the reborn chosen one? And like in the first episode, you're like, oh, it's this kid. And then for the rest of the season, they're like, it could be this person, it could be this person, it could be this person. And then the last season, they're like, no, it was the kid that you guessed at the first episode. It's like, that's the biggest like tease ever. Not cool. And that wasn't in the book. Like that wasn't in the book. The book just told you who it was. And it's just like, okay, that's frustrating. Because I really wanted it to be these things, but then people were upset about it because they're like, it's not. It's this kid. Like, are you guys going to change the story? And everyone got mad because they thought they were going to change the story, and then they didn't. And it's just like, you guys are just being... It feels like it was written for a TV show. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
And so that's really depressing.
It was done so, like, the answer isn't totally obvious or isn't supposed to be. And... yeah, okay.
But
like,
so
I wasn't going to watch it
because
I never read the books.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like I don't have any.
I really like.
I think I'm also a little biased against it because the first time I ever heard of it was from Shadiversity, and I just like no. If he likes it, it must be bad.
That's funny.
That's kind of my rationale. It's like I shouldn't be that mean.
No, I really do think like it's a really cool story, and it's mediocre. It's written mediocrely for the TV show, which is unfortunate. Because there's a lot of things that I was like, oh, that would be so cool, and then they don't do it. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
And that's probably just the fact that there are probably just some books that just would make very poor TV shows.
Yeah.
So I do think some books should be treated more as TV shows and then instead of movies.
Mm-hmm.
So you could probably show more of the stuff over like episodes instead of like a 5-hour-long movie.
Yeah, I honestly think Willow was a great movie. I love Willow. I'm gonna start with that.
It's still long.
It's still long. It's a long movie. Yeah, and I think it did play out way better as a TV show, but the TV show had the same problem of like there's the movie, like the story they're telling, which is great, and the world they're telling, which is great, and then how they got there is just full of people writing stuff into it because it needs to be there for a show. And it's like, ugh, you could cut out so much and it would be better. It would be a better thing. So, but
I haven't watched the Willow show. I don't know. I think I'm just like been burned too much by Disney. Hence why like it took me so long to watch The Mandalorian, even though I've heard countless times it's a good show.
Yeah, Mandalorian's good.
And it's like it just took me such a long time to get to it. Same with The Witcher.
Yeah.
First season of Witcher, I watched it like 3-4 years after it was released, and just like.
Yeah, my problem with Mandalorian is that it's too much. It requires you to watch too many shows, like because they keep cross pollinating it with other shows, which have all been good. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. Like I loved Book of Boba Fett. I loved Ahsoka, but like
I didn't watch Ahsoka yet.
It's good. I was just like, I'd watch it.
I was like, I'm just gonna watch the Book of Boba Fett because it seems like it's the one that has the most tie-in immediately.
Yeah, Book of Boba Fett really should have just been in the. I see why they didn't do it, right? Like, I feel bad that they put so much of the Mandalorian into it. It really should have stayed its own thing, or been part of the Mandalorian. Because now, like, a handful of people that I've told to watch the Mandalorian, they're like, "What the hell happened?" I'm like, "Oh, you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett." Like, Book of Boba Fett is just, it should be part of the Mandalorian, unfortunately, because it's so important. And
the thing is, they may end up just doing that, because there are times where they'll just like, they may just like, if you're like gonna watch it, they may just like, what they could do is like make a playlist, is like where Boba Fett comes in, immediately start playing Book of Boba Fett episodes.
Yeah, exactly. And that would have made me, if it would have been like Mandalorian season 2.5 Book of Boba Fett, that would have been like, perfect, I love it, let's do it, right?
Yep.
But they didn't, and that made me a little frustrated. But oh yeah, there's so many good stories with like really cool worlds that I just really love, and that I feel like just get destroyed by
corporate greed
and writers, just like lazy writing or corporate writing, or like a prime example of that is the Dresden series, the Dresden TV series. It's fine for like a early 2000 cop drama, but it's not the book. Like, it's just so, it could have been literally any paranormal investigator. It was written to be just a paranormal investigation show, and they're like, Dresden is close enough, let's just do that.
And then like a few years later they have Lost Girl, which I don't know if you ever saw, which I would argue is a little bit better because it's just like fully immersed into the weird supernatural aspect of it, and it's just like, or even, I hate to bring it up, the first like few seasons of Grimm was a lot better.
So good. The first few seasons of Grimm were great, and then it became a weird like almost family drama thing, and I was just like, this isn't why I showed up. I'm here for the monsters of the week, please.
Yep.
Not for weird witch babies.
And I think that was kind of just the signs of the time where like people were bored with like cop dramas and wanted more
I really think Grimm was
more
really
connected stories.
Grimm was really, I think, banking off of like the success of Supernatural, and there was a whole bunch of weird supernatural type shows.
Yeah. Like Lost Girl. Lost Girl, I'm pretty sure started around the same time Supernatural did.
What was the one?
It was like a
really
sci-fi.
Liked. God, what was it called? Shoot. There was one where these two people sold their son to the devil. Reaper? Was that Reaper?
I have no idea.
It was really funny, but it only went like 2 seasons.
There's Warehouse 13.
Yeah.
It's a little bit later. I really liked it.
I loved Warehouse 13, and then Eureka was a sister show. Like, it was in the same universe, and they did a couple crossovers. But Eureka's writing was so bad in comparison. And you can tell, like, after the second season of Eureka, they just stopped caring. Like, they were just phoning in every episode. And every couple of episodes, they're like, what if it was a dream? Or what if we reset it? What if they go through time? And it's like, guys, your continuity sucks. Like, what are you doing? And I had to stop watching it.
I'll be right back.
Yep. And I feel like Warehouse 13 kind of got pigeonholed into the same thing. So when Eureka failed, Warehouse 13 just lost its funding too. People aren't interested in this anymore. It's like, no, Eureka's just bad writing. Try better. Try harder. They were both cool shows to start with. How was chat doing? How's everybody doing in chat? It's been a quiet day over there. Corvus and I have just been shooting the shit. which is fine.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Did you ever watch Sanctuary?
No.
I
think I've been told about it.
It was a weird one.
I would watch the Willow show if you have access to it. It's not great. Like, I'm not telling you it's an amazing thing, but I would watch it.
There's Warwick in it. He's always good.
Yeah, I really, really like the interactions between him and the other characters. But, like, the interactions with the world around them feel, like, disjointed sometimes. And so it's just like, okay. Which is the sad part.
Yeah.
And it really feels like they had a good story written, and then someone took the script and like, no. We gotta add all this stuff. We gotta add this love interest. And it's like, we don't have to. Like, could just not do that and it'd be fine.
Yeah. I will say that is my biggest issue with, like, certain types of anime.
Yeah.
It's just, like, the forced love interests that, like, they have, like, the chemistry of oil and water. And they get together in the end. Just like, but why?
But why?
Like, spoilers for Demon Slayer. Tanjiro ends up getting with one of the side characters, and it's just like, they barely they interact, yeah, and they have a nice friendship. That's it.
It's not the butterfly girl?
It is the butterfly.
Oh, okay.
The one that doesn't speak a lot.
Yeah.
Not the older one, because that's gross. But yeah, it's just like, they barely, like, interact with each other. And it's just like, you don't have to force this. You could just, like,
You just want... Sorry, I'm trying to think of their names now. You just want to ship Golden Boy with Tanjiro.
Oh, no. It's Pignosuke.
You want Pignosuke?
Who also ends up with, like, another person. Like, a side character. I'm just like, but why? He literally yelled at her once. That was it. It's just, it's dumb. It's frustrating. It's like, if you do want a romantic aspect of it, make it work. Make it part of the story. Like, yeah. I mean, not like, oh, they're dating, but it's just like, have them, have meaningful interactions with each other and build the romance, not just shoehorning it in at the very end.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, no, that's lazy writing, right?
Yeah. I think it was probably just because the guy who wrote it, I can't remember, was probably just told you need to have a romance at the end. It's just like, fine, and there.
I thought Tanjiro died. I just assumed he was eventually going to die horribly.
I mean, everyone's going to die.
Yeah, but he's like, just dad burned himself out. I figured he was just going to burn himself out.
Yeah. I think sometime this summer the new movie for it's coming out. Nice. For like the next arc.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I think the last part is going to be a episode stuff. Yeah. I could be wrong.
The butterfly girl likes him though.
Well, yeah, but so did the Hinata and Naruto. But like, Naruto barely interacted with Hinata.
That's fair. He shouldn't have ended up with the other girl though. So I don't know. Yeah, there's some weirdness to it. Kid,
you can be single, people. It's okay.
That's what you just want people to be single. Okay, do I want to do more? It's 1 o'clock. The kid is asleep. Let's just keep going. We'll do one more here. 9.
Hope it's mine. It's probably not mine.
BioShock Big Daddy inspired half orc?
Nope.
Big Daddy inspired half orc treachery paladin with bared arms and a snake motif on his heavy plate armor. 2 problems with this. the thing that makes a Bioshock Big Daddy a Big Daddy is the basically dive armor, right? It's like a dive suit, and the big drill arm. Whoops! I accidentally put those on the same layer. So
yeah, I never played Bioshock, so I had
I played the first one.
reference for it.
It's good. It's a fun, it's kind of psychological shooter.
Yeah, I think it's why I've not been interested in it. I'm not into like the host. I'm not into like psychological storytelling stuff. It's like, is it real or is it all in your imagination?
Oh, no. I just mean like you have to make some choices. Control X, Control V. Why was that? What? It just didn't work. It just didn't work for a little bit. I redid it and it worked. So I don't know what the hell that was about. Okay. What was I doing? Oh,
That's a good goblin, though.
Big Daddy. Thank you. So the only thing I can think of is we either A, give him the dive helmet, which then makes him not look like an orc, or we don't give him the dive helmet, which makes him not look like a Big Daddy. I guess we could give him this big old dive suit and then just put an orc face in it. See how that goes. We'll try. We'll try to give him most of a dive suit. Bioshock is like, yeah, it's a little bit of a psychological horror where you're just kind of like, I don't remember how or why you even got to the place you were at. But then you have to like shoot bees out of your arms and decide whether or not to murder children. It's just like, this is a weird game. But
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. A little bit of body horror, a little bit of questionable morals. So like the big thing with the Bioshock was that you got like, God, I don't remember what it's called, but you would find special powers. One of them is like you inject yourself with stuff to get these powers, and one of them would like let you shoot bees out of your arm. But you also like upgraded those and got those by murdering these like genetically engineered tiny children that the Big Daddies are protecting. And it's like you can either let them all go and not get the powers, like you don't get them, which makes the game harder, or you do kill them and then you inject yourself with their weird super essence and get cool powers that makes the game easier. And then you have different endings based on like how many you save and whatnot. So
basically, being evil makes life easier.
Mm-hmm. And then changes the way the game ends. I think if you try to save them all, you eventually become a Big Daddy. I'm not sure about that one.
I just don't like that name.
Big Daddies?
It's just, I don't know, it's a little weird.
Well, I mean, so they're giant dudes in dive suits, right? So they're huge.
Yeah.
They have a drill bit for an arm. I don't know why. They never really explained that. And then they all have these little tiny, like, tiny girls. That's what they're protecting. They're just protecting these little girls. And so the little girls call them Big Daddies. Is your draconic construct on the list? Did you suggest it on... Yep, I see it. It is there. Thank you, Corvus.
I saw it earlier today when I made my suggestion.
Oh, did you get it in before the stream?
I believe I did.
Okay.
Because when did I post was it like at 12, 11, my time?
Okay, that should be fine then.
Yeah, I did like 4 hours ago. So.
I'm drawing a basic, like, Warhammer org, and I'm not happy with it. We're gonna try something a little different. Oh, did you? I sent you the game.
Yeah, I was going to bring that, talk to you about it. It won't play for me.
Okay. I'll take a look at it.
It's saying like something wasn't properly installed.
Oh.
The Unity player thing.
You should just unzip it and then play the executable. And then it.
Well, there's like nothing to unzip. They were all just like uncompressed files or something like that.
What did I send you?
I don't know.
Maybe I sent you the wrong thing. Let me take a look.
Because I downloaded it and it was like already unzipped and everything. And I clicked.
Delete what you have and try re-downloading it.
Okay.
Because it might be. It shouldn't unzip unless you. I'll try downloading it. This is potentially dangerous. And it's not.
Yeah, that's. It also.
Yeah, it's just because it's
the
a
same
zip
thing.
file. Like, if I was trying to send you a virus, this is how I would do it.
Thanks.
Scanning. Just download it. It's fine. I made this file. Stop scanning it. What is happening? Whatever. Oh, kid, your chin is just digging into my shoulder.
Okay. It's working now.
Kind of wondering if it just like if you still have the old folder from last time, it might try to use those files or something. Need to change the. I spent the last like 2 weeks just basically reorganizing shit, like developing nothing, just reorganizing stuff. So now I can finally start building stuff again. I keep discovering like little weird things, like, oh, if I do this, this becomes really easy. That's boring. And I have to think to myself, someone will do this. Someone will do this. Am I okay with this? What do I need to change? Is it okay? Is it okay for people to do this? I need to update the UI so people know they can rotate the camera. I need to make the tower UI bigger so people realize that they can make towers. I need to figure out a way to make it very intuitive that you can put pearls in to the player or the tower.
How do you... Wait, never mind.
If anybody would like to play the first 5 waves of a dungeon crawler, message me in Discord. I said dungeon crawler, a tower defense game. It's janky, and that's fun. Because it's just not fully developed yet. But I want to get feedback on stuff. There are 2 very big issues that I'll fix today. But I want to see if you notice them. So, what's the thing? Roast me? That's not right. Be critical. We're at a stage where critical is good. This is not fun is actually good feedback. Why isn't it fun, though, is the next question I'm going to ask if you say it's not fun. What would make it fun?
How do you... Oh, there we go.
Sounds like you're figuring it out, though. That's good.
No, I was trying to figure out how do you, like, start a new wave. And... yeah.
You find the start button?
Well, it wasn't prompting.
Oh.
Until I got to this certain area.
Interesting. Okay.
The gray, like, kind of dark gray, sandy area.
Maybe there was one crab left or something? That's interesting. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, there's like a little shadowed area where the
dirt gets brown?
Spawn for the crabs is.
Yeah.
And if I'm outside that area, it doesn't prompt a new wave.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. I also need to make a you died screen. And a you win screen. I don't have a you win screen yet. You did it.
Oh, new crab monster.
Oh yeah. Guess what it do?
It shoot laser beams.
Shoot bubbles. I do want to eventually have a laser beam crab.
Oh god.
I was talking to Dalcor a little bit, and I think I was talking to Jonas too about it, like how to actually design a laser beam. So if you have like a crab that has like a giant claw here, how to make something go and then like move across the ground. That'd be great. Did you figure out the shop?
Yeah, I've not fully figured out how to upgrade towers yet.
You cannot. So you, instead of upgrading towers, you give them pearls or items or whatever they are.
I think I gave one of them an item.
If you hit tab and walk up to it, it'll tell you whether or not it's in its inventory or not.
Ah.
You can look at their stats. I was telling one of my friends that I was making this game, and his first suggestion was, what about a crab guy that makes crabs and then like eats them? Or like when you kill the crabs, you eat them and you make soup out of them. And I'm like, you're the third person to suggest something like that. Yeah, what if you use the crab shells for weapons and armor? I'm like, yep.
That was basically my crab eater character.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Like, apparently that's what the people want. People want to eat the crabs, so... I need crafting. I need a crafting system. Ooh. It might just be Monster Hunter, though.
Yeah, So I've basically made a little kill box.
Good.
On this first map.
Did you do it at the choke point? Little choke point?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to reduce the hit points of everything by a lot. I think maybe like 3 hits from a crab should kill the player. Maybe 10 for a tower. 10 might be too much though. We'll see. I don't know if Elliot's still around, but Tomic, if you'd like a copy, let me know. We're not quite to is a game yet, by any means. But it's a playable concept, which is great. And I'm happy that that's where we're at. I have to rebuild I made a character named Feathers, which just shoots arrows. So being a ranged character makes the game completely different, which is awesome. Because you can't, like with the melee character, you can attack the bubbles that the little crabs shoot. But with the archer, it's way harder, and it's like, oh god! And you're just like bullet hell running around everywhere. Oh my god, kid, you're so heavy. He is passed out.
Hello, Bri.
Bri, welcome in. Nice. That's cool. That's a good little box. Do they stop and attack the first barricades?
That was the idea. I just went up for like the first 2 waves. I just like was killing them. So it's like,
Yeah.
I should like let them come to me.
Legos, kind of. That's the I sent you a copy of that, Bri, if you want to play with it. Nice. Yeah, let me know. Like I said, be critical. I want basically I want people to play it, and I want to know what people's thoughts are, right? Like, it's not a finished thing. It's not meant to be like here's the final product. It's like, hey, play this, and I just want your kind of gut reaction to like, this was fun, I didn't like this was annoying, it would be cool if, right? Like, those are the kind of statements I want.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I'm still in the brainstorming phase. So right now is a great
I will say I was wrong. It does prompt. It was just where it's white. I wasn't.
Oh, you couldn't see it?
It didn't pop. Yeah, it wasn't like popping out at me immediately. It's like, oh, there it is.
I think
Even though it's in the middle of the screen,
right.
it's just like
That's like
my
the
brain
basic.
was not commuting.
That's the basic Unity text button.
Yeah.
And so I put it right there so that people wouldn't miss it. But I think I need to make it more of, like, on the right, it also has the, like, these are the crabs that are going to attack you next. So you kind of have a preview. I think I need to make that all one big panel so that people see all of that information right in one place.
Mm-hmm.
But that's that's part of the development. So. How are you today, Bri?
He kind of has a Khans of Tarkir orc vibe going on. I like it.
What? What is that?
It was a setting for Magic the Gathering. They recently just put out a new one.
Yeah. Okay.
And their orcs are kind of different.
Bulky. They got the big old noses, I think, right? Not like goblin noses, but just like, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Hang on, they almost have like weird lizard vibes going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. I dig that. I dig that aesthetic. So
at least some of them do.
I like my orcs being. I've talked about this before, I think, but I'll try to break it down. I like the idea that orcs are just otherworldly elves. And so I also like my elves being non-humanoid humanoids. Not human humanoids, there we go. So elves should look a little bit weird. And then you're basically taking that and extrapolating it one part more. So yeah. So orcs should be weird. In my opinion, it should be a little strange.
Out of the various types of elves I've seen, I really like kind of the weirder elves of Pathfinder, where they have like the super like angular eyes and like, which are like a lot of times solid colors.
Yeah, they're like
they're also straight up aliens too in Pathfinder.
Are they? I thought they were or fae. I thought they were fae creatures.
So they come from a planet called Castrovel, which is in a planet that's featured pretty heavily in Starfinder.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the Starfinder elves are
like,
awesome.
And so, like, the ones on Galarian, they came over through essentially Stargates.
Nice. I dig it. I dig that a lot.
Like, some will have, like, just solid blue eyes or black eyes and, like, super, like, long, thin, pointed ears.
I always think about them being kind of insect-like.
Yeah.
And then if you go to Magic the Gathering, they have a fairy... They have a fairy motif where the fae... And fairies specifically, fairy is a card type, are almost like dragonflies. Like they're dragonfly people. And I dig it. It looks super cool. And so I always liked the idea that elves were that, but bigger. And so like sometimes you'll see it, every now and again you'll see elves in Magic the Gathering, and they have little antenna. It's like, hell yeah. Almost like Mantis from from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Oh, I love those guys. Those are great. Great orcs.
The first one with the giant axe kind of reminds me of like the concept art for the Jotunborn.
Yeah.
Ancestry that's coming. Just thick neck, thick arm.
The Jotunborn for me are kind of what I dig for orcs anyways, so I forgot about that. I gotta do a video for that. When does that come out?
July?
July? Okay.
End of August, beginning of July.
Yeah, we'll try to get a video for them. I want to do one for the Skittermander because Starfinder's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Probably try to do a Skittermander video, and then a Jotunborn video, and then maybe something for Halloween. We'll plan 6 months in advance.
Maybe something for Halloween.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm done with that one. Let's do one more, and then maybe we'll call it. Oh, I drew it on the same layer again. He was supposed to have a chainsaw, and I don't want to draw it. I just don't want to draw it.
The Jotunborn come out July 31st.
Okay.
In the book Battle Cry.
Roll some dice. Here we go. Don't have that many left. I already drew that one. That's my bad. A Dampier with a parasitic rose growing out of their eye socket. That's okay. Not what I expected to read today, but here we are. Trying to make a system for this game where the crabs drop the orbs.
Mm-hmm.
That was something else I was working on. I was trying to find a way to make a rarity system so that the orbs could drop. Like, oh, you have a much better chance of getting one of the smaller orbs than one of the bigger ones, because like the primal ones, the ones that like have animations on them, give you like 10 attack damage instead of 1. And if you get one of those, it's basically just you win the game right now. And I'm on the fence right now of whether to make it more frantic, like doubling the amount of creatures, but maybe making them weaker, or making them stronger and having less of them. Like, I'm not sure which is fun yet. I'll have to play with it. Because I like the idea of just kind of swathing your way through enemies, right? Like, you attacking kills 3 or 4 things, feels good, but having one enemy marching at your tower, and the towers are just like pelting the crap out of it, and it's slowly advancing, also good. Like, I like both of those feelings. So
why not both?
Yeah, I might do both. I definitely have the different kinds of crabs and stuff, so it's very easily to do both, but I have to figure out which is which and what levels to put those on. Because I feel like the first few waves are too long. They're too long in how it is right now. Because it really should just be like, look at this crab, you killed it, good job. Oh, poor kid. Oh, poor kid.
What do you mean, Bri? The Jotunborn?
What is that looking good? The one on the bottom left? It was just an orc. Or the thing that Corbett posted. I guess those are also orcs.
Yeah. These are all orcs from a single set called...
Magic the Gathering set.
Yep. Khans of Tarkir. Maybe one of them's from Dragons of Tarkir.
The Jotunborn is the next Pathfinder race coming out, and it's Ice Giants, which is awesome.
Well, they're at least blue. I don't know if they're Ice Giants.
Well, I mean, the Jotun are Actually, you're right. Actually, are all...
So Jotun just means like, roughly translate mean like we translate it as giant.
Okay.
But there are like ice Jotun, fire Jotun.
You're right. Yep. Yeah, I think that's where I was confused. I was thinking about the... Loki is a ice giant.
Yeah.
Frost giant. Frost giant, that's the word I was looking for. Ice didn't sound right.
They too also have crabs.
Yeah.
Face crab
Space crab.
spider things. I do love one of them in like the concept art is like their gauntlet armor is like made of breastplates of like humans. Not like actual human people, but like human-sized armor.
That's actually really funny. If you had you give somebody an item that's like dwarven breastplate. Like, oh, it's a breastplate made by dwarves. It's like, sure. It's like, wait a minute.
Yep. Unless it's a magical item, it ain't gonna stretch for you.
Just screams. Oh, why?
But yeah, the fact that they have like breastplate armor for like their gauntlets makes me want to think: are these guys going to be their first like huge sized ancestry? Because that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. So in older Pathfinder,
I should specify for 2e.
Yeah. In older Pathfinder, they had. Dang it! I just dropped my pen. Come back, pen. I need you. Oh, tiny man. You doing okay? Oh, you're so sleepy. In old Pathfinder, they had charts for if you're a large size or a huge size creature, here's the additional cost to make something. And I loved that. I love that idea. So after I got food, yeah, no problem, Brian. Thanks for hanging out. I love that concept of, I want to take this armor and make it for my horse. It's like you realize you're going to need like 4 times the amount of material that's already in this armor. So it's going to cost 4 times as much. But if you're just like wearing multiple pieces of armor, that works out. And I dig it. So if you're a huge sized creature and you need, 3 breastplates that you could then have fitted to be 1 breastplate, I'd allow that. That'd be awesome. So... Sorry, the Final Fantasy thing didn't work out. I wonder if maybe you had to have the full expansion or something, because they were trying to bring people back for the next big patch up.
Yeah. It could have been a number of things. It could have been where I'm no longer a sprout, and maybe where I have a paid account and not a free account.
No, it was specifically for paid accounts, which is why I thought it was weird that it didn't work. Because like the first part of it was if they come back and play for a week, you get they get feathers and stuff, like the recruiter friend feathers, which we might have already done. Which could be the other reason why. But then if you resubscribe, then then I get feathers. And I was like, that's cool. But I don't need those because I already have them. So.
Yeah. And if burning did it, like you asked, I didn't get anything. I checked on the email and everything, because the email that I use only gets emails from Square Enix.
It's funny. If you'd like to sponsor Corvus's Final Fantasy addiction, let me know.
It became less of an addiction as it went on. I don't hate the game. It's just I kind of burned myself out on it.
You did a lot. You got a lot done.
Yep.
Like, you had a lot of characters maxed out, which is good. Like, you definitely made your money's worth for that month that you had it.
Yep.
Which I think Jump Rope and I did that too. Like, we played for 2 or 3 months, and then we just we had to walk away from it. We're like, I need a break. It was too much.
Yeah.
We came back like a year later and played a bunch more.
Because I haven't played it really since there was that free week or free 3 days or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I played a little bit of, but you haven't really played it since Dawn Trail was released, and which I didn't get to play any of it because I'm 3 expansions behind.
Yeah, I think they've only released. They're still going through the raid of that, so it's not done yet.
Mm.
So I'm not sure when the next expansion probably won't come out till next year.
I don't know.
All right, I need a hairstyle. I don't know how to draw freaking vampire hair.
Did they give a hairstyle or
no? I just
long hair, short hair?
I've drawn 1-2 vampires and I wasn't happy with their hairstyle. So I gotta figure this out. 'Cause I'm only doing a bust. I'm doing a bust.
Have them be Nosferatu.
Just bald it. I could do that.
Bald. Because I was just like, what's a vampire hairstyle other than the greaseback Dracula hairstyle?
Right. I didn't want to do that again. Why did I give him huge ears? I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Probably because we were talking about elves.
Yeah. Something really wrong with this. Can I flip it? Oh yeah, it's super crooked. His face is too low. 1. His nose is smooshed. Which makes his ear too low. There we go. What's up?
Hmm?
Oh, I thought you said something.
Oh, no.
Should I put like an actual rosebud here? I can't decide. I was thinking about just the vines like growing out of his eyeball. But if it's parasitic, I feel like it's got to be like really invasive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I also like the idea that it's just... He's kind of like doesn't care. Just doesn't care. It's like Davy Jones's men from Pirates of the Caribbean. It's like, hey, when did your leg become a lobster?
Being covered in barnacles.
Yeah.
Barnacle boy.
Like that one guy's head was a conch. How does that happen?
And he had it cut off, which then proceeded to turn into like a hermit crab.
Right. It's like none of it makes sense.
No.
Explain your
There's
curses.
one guy who's like a giant green eel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, nuh-uh, nope.
I mean,
No,
Davy
thank you.
Jones's face was like part octopus, right? But
Yep.
which I guess was just a representation of his beard. So the curse is obviously warping people, but
And clearly not natural ways.
yeah. But does that happen like all at once, or do you just kind of wake up and then you're a starfish? What is this race? It's supposed to be a dampier. Oh, poor kid. He is so sleepy today. Oh, the top one? Yeah, it works.
Yep. I just know, going briefly back to the battle cry stuff, I am looking forward to a support martial class.
Yeah, I
That's
mean the
not
champion,
the
can be
champion.
that. But I had a lot of fun with the champion being that. But I really did. I did feel like I was constantly just like I really should have just been a tank, or I really should have just been a marshal. Like, I feel like I kept skirting that line. So like full support would be great. I've talked about it before. The Cavalier. I was never a fan of the Cavalier being a mounted thing, but I really liked the idea of like having a banner and just kind of being like a weird bard that's like a martial bard.
Yeah. Then you probably would like the the commander.
Yeah, I'm really excited to try the commander out. I just haven't had a chance yet.
I would also argue like there's a archetype called the Marshal, which you probably would really like. It's all about like a aura effect things, and
Cool.
you have a banner.
Yeah. Is that not out yet, or is that actually out already?
Oh, it is. It's been out for a good while.
I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into that. Physicist, welcome in, by the way. Gotta give him a big pop collar because he's a vampire.
Yep.
You don't want sun hitting the back of your neck. When in doubt, Doctor Strange. I've been a weird kick for movies lately. Like, I really liked the Doctor Strange movie, but it invalidated uh, WandaVision, which made me upset. Because WandaVision was good, but you basically didn't need both, which sucks. And then I just watched the Deadpool movie, which I really liked the story they were trying to tell, and it took them a long time to get there because they just kept doing Deadpool jokes, and I was like, all right. So I feel like that could have been better too.
That's the way you get with Deadpool.
Yeah.
I don't particularly care for Deadpool. He's just a bit too gross for me.
Very crass.
Yeah. But also kind of just physically gross.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like, I wanted to play at one point like something like a champion, but I didn't want. I guess I didn't want to necessarily have the holy baggage that came with it, or religious baggage.
Sure.
Like, not baggage, but like packaging that it came in.
You didn't want to be a player.
Because you have to pick a deity.
Yeah.
And just like I don't mind the focus spell stuff, but I would just like take the fighter and crank up its defense and tankiness up. I would like to try that.
You could do that and just take like the Bastion or the.
Yeah.
Smite and things.
So I guess I'm saying
good.
I want more Final Fantasy Warrior tank instead of Final Fantasy Paladin tank.
Yeah, I mean that's barbarian, right? Like, that's just barbarian.
So I could probably get the bit of the mechanical stuff if I played like a champion like Minotaur, because they get a lot of that feats about moving your teammates around.
Mm-hmm.
Give a friendly nudge. Because, to be honest, if I was going to play a champion, I would be playing the new Grandeur calls.
It's not just a
which
bard.
lets you. No, so Grandeur lets you blind people
Oh.
or dazzle people when they're in your
Grandeur.
aura.
Like, okay, I see what you're saying.
And one of their first feats, I think it's one of their first feats. When you blind them, they're off guard to you for a round.
That's cool. Free off guarding is always nice.
Yep.
I don't want to trash Druid because like I'm not criticizing anything Druid's done, but I'm surprised Druid's Ranger isn't better. Like, I don't think it's a critique on him. I think partially his roles were really bad, but like,
Yeah.
I feel like the Ranger needs more stuff to get people off guard or entangle people or like trick shots kind of thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like,
I think one thing is Druid, like I said, not picking Druid, but like the type of Ranger he picked is really only meant to be like doing one attack per round.
okay.
And it's the like sniper
Yeah.
Ranger basically.
Maybe that's why it feels.
Because it does like when you like attack your hunted prey on the first time around, you do precision damage. So it's like, but like if you're a flurry Ranger, like your teddy bear is, you can just like rocket shoot people with
Maybe that's why it
bows or
feels
whatever.
different. Yeah.
Yeah. They only have like 4 like types of ranger right now, and the 4th one just came out this year, and that's the Vindicator, not Vindicator. Yeah, Vindicator. It's kind of based on the Inquisitor.
Okay.
So you're kind of like a ranger with a little bit of cleric flavoring.
They brought the War Priest back, right?
Yeah. So
War Priest is fun. War Priest is essentially 5e cleric.
Yeah.
Or 5e paladin.
Yeah, so it's called the Battle Herald, and you, instead of getting heal or harm, you get Bane or Bless as your like free spells for the day. And there's like a 4th level feat where you can like upgrade it to get Benediction and Malediction.
Ooh, I don't know what those do.
So I think Benediction gives you an AC bump.
Okay.
And Malediction lowers the AC of enemies. Think.
Plus still works the same way, right? Like get a plus to your rolls versus a minus to your rolls? Or is it a flat amount?
Oh, let me see. Even though I have Blessed, I've not used Blessed. Yeah, so... Blessed 2E gives you and your allies a +1 stats bonus to attack rolls while in the emanation.
Okay.
When you sustain the emanation, it increases its radius by 10. And its starting emanation is 15 feet.
Gotcha.
So, I think they actually bumped that up because I think it was originally just like 10 foot. Or maybe even a 5 foot emanation. It was very small. I know, and then Bane is just the opposite. And enemies must make a will save when they enter it. So, Malediction does a -1 penalty to their AC while they're in the area. And Benediction gives you an AC bump while in the aura.
Okay, so but run Bless by me? That sounds exactly the same. What's the difference?
So Bless gives you a bonus to your attack rolls.
Attack rolls. The other one gives you armor. Got it.
Yep.
Can you stack them?
Yeah, you can stack them.
Like you're able to actually. Do you have to sustain them every turn?
Yeah. So.
Okay. But what's the cast? What's the cast on them?
So the cast is
2 actions.
Let's see. So each one's a 2-action spell.
Okay. Yeah, but you can get both. That'll be fine. That's cool.
And they have, what is it called here?
I assume they have a
tandem onslaught. So if you strike an enemy using a weapon or unarmed strike, you automatically sustain one of your battle auras.
Very cool.
And that's the 4th level feat in the archetype. So pretty early.
That's awesome. Yeah, those guys sound really cool.
At 6th level, your auras can affect mindless creatures because technically Bane, Bless, and the other 2 are all mental effects. Which is a little weird and annoying. But mindless creatures can now be affected with them, but they have a +4 circumstance bonus to the auras.
Situational.
But they're kind of like they get less spells as well overall, so they're like a magus in that regard.
Yeah. They're meant to be swinging away and stuff.
Yeah. They also get like a magus. They get free spells with a feat, and gives you a list of like Handy, if not sometimes situational spells like water breathing, um, resist energy, see unseen,
I like
stuff
those.
like that.
Yeah.
Fly.
Little quick utility spells.
Mm-hmm. They also get at can get at 8th level like the paladin or champion ability, where you can like bless your weapon and get different runes on it per
Nice.
day.
Yeah, I might have to build some of these out. Try them out.
Yeah, I really want to play a Battle Herald. They seem very interesting.
We could make that your next thing you take. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it there. It's 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go see if this boy wants to wake up or whatnot. But thanks everybody for hanging out today. Thanks for putting up with my stuff. Thanks for giving me cool suggestions. I'll post all these in the Discord a little later. We'll be back on Friday for continuing the list. And yeah, like I said, if anybody wants to try out the game that I have right now, it's, like I said, very early, very pre-alpha. But just to give me some feedback, let me know and I'll send you a copy of it. And other than that, that's all I have. Stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. We'll catch everybody on Friday. Bye, everybody. Thanks for hanging out today, Corvus.
Mm-hmm.
Do, 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 do.